Alright, canning green beans and purple beans. The purple beans turn green after you cook them. So she's washing, we picked them and snapped them. Now she's loading quart jars. And you put a tablespoon of salt in each one, a teaspoon of salt. Probably only gonna get 4, aren't you? The canner will hold 8 quarts, wide mouth. I think 9 wide mouth or narrow mouth quarts. She tops them off with hot water. Right to the bottom lip. Then each jar needs to be burped to get all the air bubbles out. She's just using a regular butter knife. Make sure your jars are sterilized and washed clean with prior to using them. Then wipe the lip off of the jar to make sure there's nothing on there to keep it from sealing. And these are reusable lids. You soak the seal in hot water. Tighten them on, and then they're ready for the canner. This is a Presto canner. Put about 1 inch of water, 1.5 inches of water in it. And then put a couple plugs of white vinegar. Keeps the jars from staining when you're doing it. And then we're going to put in, we actually got 5 jars this time. So it'll hold more, but that's all we got. Orifices are clear on your quart right here. And then it's ready to start. Put heat on it and build the pressure up. Just use a 25-pound tank and a burner like that. Put it at a nice constant heat. It'll probably take 20 minutes to get up the temperature. It'll start steaming and we'll go from there. Okay, so you see it starting to steam. So I usually let it, the book says let it steam like that for 10 minutes. Help get the air out, and it'll actually, that poppet will come up after it starts building a little bit more pressure in there. See it steaming better. This is the safety interlock. When it builds up enough pressure, that pops up and it locks that lid on, so you can't rotate it off. So that's getting ready to pop up. So that pops up, blow a little more steam out. We'll put the weight on that steam valve, and then it'll start building pressure in the pressure cooker. There, it popped up. There you can see it popped up. Now that's steaming really good. It's been about 10 minutes. We're going to go ahead and put the weight on. Now the weight's on. It's all sealed up. We should see. So you can see it's building pressure. So now we got to watch it. When it gets up to 11, we'll have to start reducing the heat to keep it at 11, and we'll start the timer for 25 minutes. So there's just crossing 5 pounds of pressure. So we'll keep the heat the same up until it gets to 11, and then we'll start reducing it. Reduce the heat slowly, because if you reduce it too fast, then it drops below your 11. Okay, we're at 11. We started the timer, so now we're going to start reducing the heat to keep it at 11. You can see it's slightly going off of 11, getting a little high. So we'll reduce heat. If I can see the flame or not. There it is. So we reduced it. And we'll just keep watching the gauge, and eventually I'll get down to where there's hardly any flame, and it'll just hold at 11. So we'll hold it at 11 for 25 minutes, and then we'll take the heat off, and then it'll take probably half an hour to get all the pressure off. You want to raise the heat up and reduce the heat down very slowly. You don't want to crack jars and bust the bottoms out and stuff. So it's important you just take your time in this process. As you can see, it's right on the button at 11 right now. So we're at 12 minutes, about halfway through, and we're holding right at 11. So 13 more minutes, we'll be done with applying heat to it. Okay, 25 minutes is up. We're going to shut the heat off. It'll take a while for it to cool. I don't touch it or jostle the inside jars on the inside. I just let it cool down normally. And we won't be able to open the lid until that poppet lowers, and that tells us that all the pressure's gone. So this is a critical time to let it do it naturally. So I'll be back in a minute. So after I pulled them out, this is the next morning, I let them cool all the way down. I didn't touch them. You can see each lid is concave now, so that means it's pulled it down. So we'll take them in the house, we'll clean them, take the rings off, and they'll be good to sit on the shelf. Okay, take the ring off. You can see that this is held nice and tight. I wipe it down good. That way nothing grows on the outside. And dry it. I'll do the other with the other 4, and they're ready to go. Okay, they're all done, ready for the shelf. They should last 5 years, but we'll have them eaten by probably the end of winter.